Well, good evening, everybody. Thank you. Well, first of all, I would like to thank this invitation. It's an honor to be here. It's my third time in Poland, and I think I have good friends here. So it's a great opportunity to be here again. So as Matthew said, I'm going to talk about the this Paris economic crisis, right? Which, as we know, the Great Recession, began in 2008, and probably Spain is one of the countries where this Great Recession is hitting harder, right? So what I'm going to explain here is, first of all, I'm going to explain, well, what happened, right? So how, what were the features of the boom, then the bust, and then the social and political consequences, and finally, well, the way out, or at least one possible way out. Okay, so regarding the boom, okay, we can say that we have three bubbles, not just one bubble, right? So we can say that in Spain, we have a financial bubble, right? We were going to talk about it. And that this bubble, this financial bubble, created a productive bubble, right? And finally, this productive bubble created a public sector bubble, okay? So all the credit that the banks, the assets of the banks lent too much money, right? So this is the financial bubble. This money went to the housing sector, and finally, because of the blooming economy, the politicians, they receive too much money and they spend too much money. So we can talk about a public sector bubble. Okay, so let's begin with the first one. So regarding the financial bubble, okay, so as we all know, the European Central Bank and the Federal Reserve, they decreased the interest rate, right, in 2001, and they lent too much money to the banking system. Okay, so here in this graph we can see the interest rate of the European Central Bank, and here this is the average interest rate for mortgages in Spain, right? So let's see this line carefully. First of all, we can say two things. This line, the interest rate was between 3 and 4%, right? But this is even though the demand of mortgages multiplied by maybe 4, right? So we have to take into account that it's not just that the interest rate remained in 3%. We have to take here into account that even though there was a huge increase in the demand of interest rate, demand of credit, the interest rate remained so low. Okay, so this is the first thing we have to take into account. And the second thing we have to take into account is that the real interest rate for houses was not 3%, because actually the price of the houses increased something like 12% a year. So you could buy a house, right? This house, the price of this house increased during the boom like 12 or 13%, right? Each year, and you had only to pay 3%, right, of interest rate. So we can say that the interest rate was negative, right? Something like minus 10%, right? Which is quite amazing. So if you were a Spaniard and you would not buy a house, it's because you were either fool or either smart. Okay. So this is an interesting thing we can say. Where all this money went? So here we have the evolution of the bank credit to the private sector. Okay, So, well, actually, well, I have to say that Spain, the Spanish economy, GDP is 1 trillion, right? So it's 1 and 12 zeros. So you can have here, so this is here. This is the size of the GDP in Spain. Huh? Okay. And well, in Spain, we have something like 46 million people. So you can have a glance of the size of the economy. So here, as we can see, in 2001, well, here, this, so more than 200,000 million of euros were lent, to the housing sector, but some years later, 6 years later, more the credit to the housing sector multiplied by 5, which is quite amazing for only 6 years, right? And also here you have the credit to the other sectors that, of course, increased also, but we can see here a clear bias towards the housing sector, right? So, as we can say in this figure, the amount of credit in the economy multiplied by 3, okay? So, in 2001, well, the total credit was like here, okay? So we have to sum up these two lines, and here it is something like 1 trillion 7 billion euros, right? Okay, so it multiplied by 3. So it is very interesting to see the size of the bubble, because probably is one of the biggest bubbles during the Great Recession. Okay, so why the money flowed to the housing sector? Okay, there are, I think, 4 reasons. Okay, so the first reason is obviously immigration. Okay, in Spain, when I was little, all the books said, well, Spain is almost 40 million people, and we are not going to, and in 2050, in 2050 we are going to be 40 millions, and that is all. So, and well, when I was 10 years old, I believe it. I thought, okay, we are going to be 40 million ever and ever. So now, what happened here? Now, the Spanish women don't turn into rabbits or something like that. No. They are, as always, no. Many people came to Spain, right? So, and these are official figures. So probably this is definitely not true, because many people came illegally, right? So, as you can see here, there is a huge increase in the population of 6 million in just 6 years. And probably these figures you have to add 2 additional millions, right? Which kind of people came to Spain? Well, people from South America, of course, because the language, and we have some cultural links, right? Not Mexicans, right? But Argentinians, Peruvians, and so on. Also, some people from Eastern Europe, of course. We had many Polish people, and I have to say that we didn't have any problem with them. So, thank you so much. And also, okay, well, now you are not here. They are coming back to Poland. They don't want to be with us. Definitely, I don't know why. And also, we have many people from Morocco, right? Because Morocco is in the south of Spain, right? It's in the north of Africa. And, well, as you can imagine, well, who wants to live in Morocco? Well, some people, but if you can go to Spain, well, maybe it's not the best place in the world, but it's probably better. And also you have some people from Africa, okay, but, well, so this has been a huge impact in the Spanish society. You just imagine in Poland coming, this represents, maybe a 20% of increase in the population in just 6 years. It's amazing. Okay. So, okay. And my country has been quite isolated until the 80s, like Poland, for example. Okay. So here, of course, immigration, these people came to Spain and they have to, in the nights, they have to sleep, right? Well, some of them at least. So they need houses. So that's for sure. So the second thing, the baby boom in the 70s. Okay, well, one thing about Spain, we love our mothers. So we don't culturally Spaniards. I don't know why, but we do not go. We do not move until we are, I don't know, something like 30. It's terrible. I have my own flat, but so some people that were born here, they started to look for a house in 2001 and something like that. Okay, so the baby boom is an additional reason why people look for some houses. Okay. The third thing, okay, of course, in Spain we have an undeveloped housing renting market. Why? Because Franco, our love Franco dictatorship, he thought after the civil war, that since there was a lot of destruction, well, it's better to control the rents, right? So we have well, there is an overprotection of the tenants in the Spanish housing renting market. Okay. Well, now these things are changing, but so not many people offer his house, right, in this market. So if you want a house, you have to buy a house. Okay. And finally, the Spanish mentality. I mean, well, in Spain, well, maybe these things change, but in Spain, any family or everybody has to have a house. I mean, this is in Spain. It's unthinkable to live in a renting house. I mean, only poor people live in a renting house. Okay, in Spain, it's like because Spaniards, we see houses as the way to save, right? Okay, so so the safest way to save. This is inside here. Well, maybe now it changed definitely, but it used to be like that. So everybody. Well, bought a house, and the bank said to the people, "Hey, well, you have to pay a mortgage for 40 years," and people say, "Okay, yeah, it's okay. My grandsons are going to finally pay back the debt. Okay, it's okay." Well, so this is the Spanish mentality. Okay, so probably it's because we had a lot of inflation in the past, so the houses are safe assets probably. Okay. So in order to protect against inflation, we used to buy houses. So that's probably why culturally for us having a house is so important. Okay, so these are the four reasons why once all this money flowed to Spain, well, why we put this money in the housing sector. Okay, and where this money came from, the Germans and French bankers lent us a lot of money. So probably, well, I don't think that's why Germans are so eager to bail out Spain, because if not, their banks would collapse. That's thank you so much, because I know there is a German girl here. So okay, so we have here the population again. Okay, so now let's see the productive bubble. Okay, so this is the evolution of the prices of the houses, right? And the houses initiated. Okay, I say initiated and not built because some of them were not finished. Okay, we have something like ghost neighborhoods, ghost cities, ghost villages in Spain. Okay, okay. So, well, you can see here these bars are the houses, right? And this line is the prices. Okay, well, in Spain, in order to see the size of the productive boom. Initiated something like 4.5 million houses in 6 years. Okay, this is equal. This is the same number of houses that were initiated in Germany and France in that period. Germany and France together, and Germany and France has 3 times more population than Spain. Okay, but the Spaniards, we are smarter, so that's why we build so many houses. Okay, so as you can see, the price of the house is doubled. So in order to see the price, you have to see here is 1,500, and it reached almost 3,000. So this is the price of price per square meter. Of course, it depends on the neighborhood and so on, but this is an average. Okay. So well, as you can see, the size of the bubble is huge. It's enormous. Okay. So well, more figures. 70% of the total investment between these 2 years 2001 and 2007, 70% were done in the housing sector. Okay, 70% of the total investment. Okay, well, Spain, of course, created 4.5 million of employments, right? During these 6 years, 4.5 is for each 2 employments in the eurozone, one of these employments were created in Spain. So we created in 6 years half of the employment in Europe, in the eurozone. Okay, so which I think it's quite a lot. Also, what we can say. Oh yeah, in Spain. Oh, we are, as I said, a very important country in the world. Spain, we have the highest proportion of houses per capita in the world. There is actually 1 house per 2 people. So it's 2 people, it's 2 Spaniards can have a house. Although some houses are empty right now, but if you divide the total amount of people in Spain divided by the houses, you'll find the relationship is 2 divided 1. Okay. More things in 2007. 1/4, right, of the total GDP has some direct or indirect relationship with the housing sector. So I mean, as you can see, it's a huge bubble, right? And when you do a huge mistake, you have a huge problem. Okay, so now let's see the public sector bubble. Of course, all this boom generated a lot of increments in the tax revenue. Why? Because I mean, you people get richer, right? Well, actually, they get indebted, right? So they just get debt. They were not richer, but still. So they had to pay higher income tax, right? Personal income tax. Well, there were more benefits, so companies had to pay more benefits, more taxes, right? There were more sales, right? So the VAT collection or revenue increased a lot. So here you can see the evolution of the tax revenue, right? So as you can see, well, there is one country which is smarter than we are, which is Ireland, okay? But Spaniards, we are in the 2nd place, okay? As you can see. So we can say that almost public revenue increased 70% in just 6 years, which is quite amazing. And okay, what politicians do? Well, terrible things, as we know. But what they do is spend money. Why? Because it's his job. It's their job. The job of a politician is to spend money. Why? Because if not, he's not going to win the elections, right? So if they have 100, they are going to spend 100 or more, or even more, right? And if they have 160, they are going to spend 160, right? So that's what our politicians did. They spent almost everything they could spend. They did not realize that this was not permanent. This was just temporal. So we can say that the public expenditure increased like that. So, but what is going to happen in the crisis? That the tax revenue is going to go down, but the public expenditure is even go up higher, right? They are going to spend even more. So we are going to have a huge deficit. Okay, but so politicians, if you give a politician 10 euros, they are going to spend 10 euros. So it's not they don't see anything. Okay. Okay. So actually, where the politician spend this money? Well, in everything. I mean, we have more hospitals, more education, more roads. You haven't seen the Spanish highways. They are awesome. I mean, I went with Anna Grun to Cuenca some months ago,
And Cuenca is a teeny tiny city. It's like 60,000, sorry, habitants, right? People living there. 60,000. It's nothing. So you'll find a huge highway. It's amazing. I don't know. It's amazing. Okay. So they spend the money everywhere, right? I mean, better education, better hospitals, better, more pensions. Okay. So just to see, for example, the number of public workers. So in 2001 it was 2.5 million, which is quite a lot, I think, but still. So, and in 6 years they increased almost in 20%, right? The number of employees. Well, this is very sad. I mean, you see, this is the crisis, and they are still hiring people. The public sector. Well, it's quite amazing. Yeah. Zapatero. Yeah. Zapatero and Al Rajoy, socialist also. But yeah, Zapatero. Yeah. Because Zapatero, we are going to talk about him in a few seconds. Well, okay. So this is basically the public sector bubble. It's quite amazing. Okay. Okay. So the bust. Oh, okay. This is a really nice picture of Spain. There are many places like that in Spain. I live in Ávila, which in the south part of Ávila is a bubble part of Ávila, and there are two things: these kind of things, and also empty roads. And I always say this: I have a flat in Ávila. It has 3 bedrooms, 1 big living room, 1 big kitchen, 2 toilets, 1 laundry room, 1 terrace, 1 garage. Only 4. Everything is new. 370 euros a month. So it's quite amazing. And because of course, people are trying now to rent their houses, and the rents went down. They collapsed. Okay. So, and also you'll see many non-finished houses. Okay, in Spain. Okay. So the bust. Well, first of all, let's talk about the policies. Well, what was the first reaction of the government? Oh, saying there is we don't have a crisis here. This is the first thing they said. Okay. Well, then they started to do, what they do is a Keynesian stimulus plan. They spent a lot of money, right? And they call it the E-plan. I don't know why. But they just created, pointless employment, right? Pointless, and they did pointless things. I don't know why. Well, yeah, I know why. But and also you have the nature of the state is to spend a lot, because subsidies and so on, right? Also, you have a lot of bailouts to banks and to some industries, like for example the car industry, right? Which in Spain is quite important. So you have here like 3 years of Keynesianism, and then you have like 2 years of austerity, which means strong tax increases, right? Modest expenditure cuts, and some liberalization. They liberalize, for example, the labor market a little bit. They liberalize the housing renting market, something like that. And a strong tax increase. This is quite. For example, we used to have a VAT of 16%. Now we have a VAT of 21%. But many products that had a lower VAT, like 6%, because they were special prices, special products. They are not longer special products, and they have 21%. For example, the school materials for the kids, right? The notebooks and so on. They had 5% or 6% of VAT. Now they have 21. So it's in one day they increase 16 points the indirect tax. I think it's quite amazing. Okay. Also, okay. So here you have the productive adjustment, of course. So here you have the small and medium businesses, and this is the total businesses in Spain. Okay. So here you can see, so this is 2008. So you can see here like a reduction of 300,000 companies. So something like 10% of the total amount of companies closed. Okay. which is, well, quite a lot. Okay. So more things. Oh yeah, this is the unemployment. So we have, well, we were here. Oh, this is a very interesting figure because if you see during the boom, we created a lot of unemployment. Yes, all the immigrants that came to Spain, they got a job. But, you know, but the unemployment rate was the same, right? More or less. Okay. So here we have the boom, sorry, the bubble, sorry, the bust. So, you know, we created something like almost 4.5 million of unemployment, right? Unemployed workers. Sorry. So as you can see, now the unemployment rate is 27%, which is quite a nice figure, right? Okay, so we are going to see a devastating what? Yes, we are the smartest country in the world. Okay, so this is because of course, the 27%, okay, this is the average, but as you can see in Andalusia, 36%. Wow, viva España. Okay, I mean, amazing, right? I mean, well, I saw in the news, one town, one village in Andalusia, that everybody was unemployed. Everybody. I mean, I cannot believe it. I guess that at least the bartender, he had unemployment. He was employed. I mean, I don't know. But everybody, I mean, it's quite amazing. Okay, so you can see here Madrid, 20%, Basque Country, 16%, which is, well, it's quite a lot, but, you know, from a Spanish standard, it's quite okay. And so you can see that more or less this is a terrible situation, okay? Okay, more things. Okay, yeah. This is the Spanish public finance. So you can see here that this is the boom period, right? And you can see that there is even deficit, even though they increased there was an increase in 70% of the public expenditure of the public incomes, right? Well, finally here, politicians, they didn't have, they couldn't spend everything. So we even have a surplus. Okay, so here and then here you have a huge deficit, and this is 2011, but this same, if we see the figures for 2013, it would be just the same, or even worse. Okay, so of course this generated a huge public debt. So here, so just remember that the Spanish GDP is something like 1 trillion, right? So this is 30% more or less of 1 trillion. Well, this is figures in thousands of millions of euros, right? So as you can see, the Spanish public debt was not that high, but you know, after Zapatero and Rajoy, it's it's almost 100% of public debt, right? We are almost in 1 trillion, and this is 2012. Probably now it's 1 trillion. Okay, so it's spectacular. You can see it. Amazing. Okay. Of course, what does it mean? That there is no credit for the companies. This is another important thing. Okay, so here we had a discussion with Dave Howden. Okay, so what some people believe is in Spain we don't have high taxes. Other people believe we really have high taxes. Well, this is a paper wrote by the Juan de Mariana Institute, and what they claim here, maybe they are not right, I don't know, so we have to discuss it, is that the Spanish, actually, the tax system is quite aggressive. And after Zapatero and Rajoy, well, according to this data, of course, Spain, I don't know, it has the personal income tax is even higher than, for example, Germany, which it's France and United Kingdom in some parts of this scheme, right? Okay. Well, okay. More things. Oh yeah. So we have the adjustment. Oh yeah. One interesting thing. One anecdote. Yeah, I came to the conclusion. Sometimes we have a problem with libertarians. We have a problem we are too naive, and we think that the state is like one person doing things, but this is not the case. It's not true. Okay, in Spain you have there are cuts on, for example, medicines, right? So for example, the kids have less medicines because of the cuts, austerity measures. Okay, but at the same time, in my village in Torrelodones, right? The mayor built a cycling path. I don't know why. I mean, nobody in my village. Well, some people, but not many people ride a bike in my village. But they said, okay, we are going to do a cycling path for the bikes, right? And so at the same time, you have cuts in the medicines, right? But at the same time, in the villages, for example, in my village, this is just an example, you have some crazy mayor creating a path for the bikes, which is totally stupid. Okay, so this is politicians, right? So if the mayor would be smarter, he would just save this money and send this money to the government, at least, right? No. Instead, he built a cycling path. Okay. Well, for example, another thing is in my university we created a master on internationalization of firms. Okay. And the state created a free, the same master but free. So it's a terrible competence, right? Because the state is now offering the same master we are offering but free, for free, €0. So, oh no. But they are at the same time cutting in medicines, which is quite interesting. Okay, social consequences. Well, of course, people are not happy. I mean, Spain is not Greece. It's not that we have riots every day, but some political unrest, right? So here we had 4 general strikes, which in Spain is quite a lot, and many little strikes in above all public sector and this kind of stuff. Okay, so here another thing that happened is immigration. Yeah. Well, Spanish people in the 60s emigrated to Germany, France, England, Switzerland, and so on, looking for a job. Okay, so now we are emigrating again, but instead of being, farmers, we are now mechanical engineering, economists or whatever. So, okay, basically many Spaniards now are leaving, above all young people, and many immigrants are leaving, of course. So, to Germany, Argentina, people are going to Argentina, this is amazing. France, England, Italy, the States, Brazil, and other places, right?
To Poland.
No, Poland, yeah. We should come, definitely. Okay, well, of course, another consequence is the index of economic poverty. Well, this is an index created by a foundation. Well, of course, poverty increased, right, in Spain, that's obvious. There are many families with everybody unemployed, and it's not weird to see people looking for food in the garbage, so it's quite terrible. I mean, it's not, of course, some people live okay, but some people are suffering, of course, the crisis, that's for sure. Okay, so here we have Indignados movement. Indignados is like Occupy Wall Street movement, but the Spanish version. So, well, this is maybe the most important square in Madrid. So, well, in 2011, there were like a spontaneous protest, right, in Spain called Indignados. And, well, these guys, I mean, of course, they are left-wing, naive, and dangerous, because, I mean, they say, well, the politicians, they are terrible people, but the solution is to nationalize the banks. So the politicians would run also more banks. So this is stupid, right? You shouldn't do it. But, well, okay. So we have some political tension here. Okay, this guy is a quite interesting guy. This guy is called José Luis Bárcenas. He was the accountant of the Conservative Party. in Spain, which is called Partido Popular, Popular Party, right? So this guy handled the accounting during almost 20 years. Okay, so this guy said one day, well, here is the B accounting, right, of the Popular Party. So it's amazing. So it published a lot of bribes, yeah, of to politicians for the last almost 20 years. Even the government, even the president, or Mariano Rajoy, is involved in this shit. Oh, sorry, in this racket, right? I mean, but he's saying, no, I didn't take any money. But I mean, but this guy is amazing. He's the accountant of the Partido Popular, right? And he went to the judge, well, now he's in prison, and said, no, it's true. I gave the money to Mariano Rajoy, to José María Aznar, which was the former president, to all the people. It's amazing. So there are many corruption scandals. This is just one scandal. But, okay, this hasn't. I mean, this is not the fault of the boom, right? But I don't know. It's important because the institutions in Spain are slightly deteriorated. Okay, voting intention. This is very interesting. So here we have Popular Party, right? Partido Popular, Conservatives, Social Democrats, okay? Partido Socialista, and we have here you have Communists, right? Okay. Okay, and here we have a new party which is socialist, but we don't really know what is going on. So, I mean, you have to see, this is quite amazing. 44% of the voting in the last, so 2 years ago, went to Popular Party, okay? So now, you see, 22% in just 2 years. It's amazing. You see, Socialist Party, or Social Democrats, 20%. So you see the Communist Party, 16%. It's almost the same voting intention than Conservatives. But this is, I'm worried, I'm worried. And these guys, I don't know, they are, I don't know. I trust more in these guys than in these guys, but I don't know. I mean, so this is because of the corruption, the unemployment, the Indignados movement, etc. Okay? So I think this is quite surprising. Oh, 2 minutes. Well, okay, yes, I'm going to. Okay, well, 2 more minutes, please. Okay, here we have Catalonia. Oh, this is very interesting. Catalonia is here is a region, right, in Spain. It's a wealthy region. So this is a Barça football game. Okay. So you see, there is a huge independent movement in Catalonia. Okay. So just in order to say, and this is because of the crisis, of course. You see, in 2008, this is the Catalonian independence support. Okay. So well, now it's more than 50%. So it's a part of Spain that want to be independent. More than here is not updated. If you see the last figure is 52% or something of Catalonians that want to get independent. This is a problem because we have a lot of public debt and we don't want these taxpayers to go out of Spain. We want the taxpayers in Spain. Come on. Okay. So finally, way out. Okay. Of course. Tax reduction, right? Which is not. This is obvious. Second thing. Internationalization. I mean, we have to go away, to go to other markets and to try to sell our products in other places, right? And also we have to receive money from foreigners, right, to start new businesses. Okay. Well, also more things we need. Oh, the euro. The euro is great. We are going to have a debate during these 3 days. The euro is the best thing that happened to Spain. Why? Because if not, politicians, instead of doing the cuts and the reforms they are doing, they would have been spending and spending and printing and printing money, right? So I think that Spain is really, we are very happy, lucky that we are in the Eurozone, okay? And well, finally, so what we have to do in Spain, there are many smart people, and we have to just liberalize more the market and reduce the state. And finally, put into the aid all the politicians and Keynesian economists
that create this situation. So thank you very much.
We've got 15 minutes for questions.
Yeah.
The first question I have is, you said there are increasing taxes, pretty much.
Yes.
But who does it? Because I don't know any economic school of thought that would say you have to increase taxes during recession.
Yeah.
Is it from outside, like orders, or they do it by themselves?
That's a good thing. It's very interesting. During the Great Depression, Hoover did the same. During the first 3 years, he spent a lot of money, and then he realized that he had a debt problem, so he started to also raise the taxes. They are forced by the situation. Since we are in the euro, the only way to balance expenditures and incomes is to, or either reducing the expenditures, they are reducing expenditures, well, a little bit, or either increasing the taxes. So it's a necessity. They don't want to do it because politicians, now being a politician in Spain is quite hard. I'm being honest, because they appear in the news and they say just bad news. Hey, we're going to increase the taxes again. Do you know what they did before the summer? They increased the taxes on the AC because they say, oh, this is in order to protect the environment. So we are going to put a new tax to the AC, air conditioner, right? Why? Before the summer in Spain, it's quite hot the summer. Okay, or also special. They also increase the taxes on alcohol and cigars and this kind of stuff before the summer. In Spain, we consume a lot of alcohol during the summer. So no, definitely no ideology supports tax increases, but they are forced. It's like Hoover. It's the same. They have to do it because they are in the euro. They cannot print the money, and so they have to do it. They say it's Europe. It's Europe. Our politicians say it's Europe that they are forcing to increase the taxes and so on. But okay.
So you would say that Huerta de Soto was wrong when he said that euro forces you to cut, because the euro doesn't force you to cut, but to destroy your economy.
No. Well, but okay. At the same time, they are reducing the public expenditure. I think Huerta Soto is totally right. The good thing about the euro is that the politicians, they have to face the reality. So they have either increased the taxes or reduced the expenditure, and they are doing both things. Okay, and also they are liberalizing, for example, the labor market, the renting market, and other markets. So I think the euro is putting the framework for the politicians to do the right measures. Although they should definitely reduce some pensions and so on, but you have seen what is happening with the voting intention. In 2 years it collapsed. So. But please come to Spain. Yeah.
Do you think Catalonia separating would be a positive thing right now, actually?
Well, this is a very important issue. One thing Catalonian, right, is... Well, first of all, my body is from Catalonia. I love Catalonians. But they are like Bavarians. They are so happy to exist. They have a complex of superiority. This is Catalonia. Spain is a complex country because it's not like Poland. I think that Poland is more homogeneous. In Spain we have 4 languages, right? This is Catalonian, here you have Valenciano, here you have Basque, here you have Gallego, and every region has its own dialect. Okay, so they want to get independent. Why? Because definitely the seed of independence is there since ever. This is true. But what they see is that they are paying too much taxes to Madrid, right? To the central government. So they would like to be independent, right? So what would happen if Catalonia get independent? Well, first of all, probably the Basque Country would try to do the same. And the Basque Country is also a rich region, right?
Well, this is the one consequence. Second thing, what would happen with the debt? I mean, we have 100% debt, right, the GDP. But if we lose Catalonian and Basques, I mean, who's going to pay the debt? So, and this could be a problem. Probably the Germans would pay the debt. I hope. I mean, we cannot do it. If Spain goes bankruptcy, I mean, the euro could collapse. I mean, now I'm serious. I mean, because only the European Central Bank is full of Spanish papers, IOUs, well, maybe we can negotiate with the Catalonia. Hey, you can, I don't know, issue new debt, and you can give us some money. But the problem with the public debt is that you cannot say to some of the holders of the debt, hey, now one Catalonian is going to pay you. No, you cannot say that because the Kingdom of Spain issued this debt, right? So you cannot endorse this debt to Catalonia. I mean, it's not that easy. So I think that this would be very problematic. I don't know. Well, what do you think, David? I mean, David has been living in Spain for 8 years, so he's almost
Spanish. There's this idea that defaulting on debt is morally offensive, but I don't really see where that comes from because I'm on the hook. Spain is obliged to pay all of this debt, and if Catalonia leaves, Spain is going to not be able to pay off that debt.
Yeah.
Which means is essentially the same thing as saying you and I won't be able to come up with enough money to pay off that debt.
Yeah, you are in the same problem.
But I don't really feel, exactly. And I don't feel obliged at all to pay off this debt. In fact, I think it's offensive that people think I have to pay it off.
Yeah, that's
I wasn't responsible for it.
Yeah, okay.
So I would prefer for Catalonia to leave and have Spain go bankrupt, and then start from scratch and have nobody loan them money so that they could get indebted again.
Okay. Well, I totally agree. I think that I am not morally responsible for what Zapatero and this bunch of criminals did. Honestly, here is a problem. The European Central Bank, its assets are public debt, well, and other things, but mainly public debt. And if we do not pay, probably the euro would collapse. So probably we will face hyperinflation. Do you know what I mean? Because finally, if I am the central bank, the way I put money into the economy is to buy debts, right? So I buy debt to the Spaniards, for example, and if they don't pay to me, all the international investors, they would say, hey, now the European Central Bank cannot buy the money we have in our pockets because they are not going to have the assets to buy again the money they put in the economy. I think you are the expert of this kind of. Well, okay. So I agree. If we were in a gold standard society, well, I would definitely agree, right? For example, Philip II didn't pay the debt many times, and so what? And but now, since the money is dead, if you eliminate what is backing this money, I think you can create a huge problem. I think. Yeah, I don't know. What do you think, Dave?
I think it's just a question of whether you want your pain quick or slow. And right now, the pain just keeps lasting because we're going to be on the hook for the rest of our lives paying off this debt.
Yeah.
And we could default it on tomorrow, just like Iceland, as an example, and we would have a little bit of pain for a couple of years.
Okay.
And then we'd start from scratch.
Okay, well, maybe you're right. Yeah, maybe you are right.
In that case, I would love for Catalonia to leave Spain.
Yeah.
Because it would really quicken the whole process. But you're right that the European Union would not let this happen. That Spain would get bailed out.
Yeah, I think that probably Germans, French people, and so on, they would send us a lot of money, and the IMF and all because the euro could, collapse. This is my perception.
Yeah, but Greece already defaulted on part of its debt, and the European Union allowed it.
Sorry. Greece. Okay.
did default on part of its debt, private part, let's say. And also, actually, central bank cannot go bankrupt. There are cases like, for example, of Czech central bank working on negative equity for a long time.
Okay.
As a normal central bank. So ECB would not go bankrupt because central banks don't go bankrupt.
Well, but you know, but I think that, well, maybe I'm wrong here, but I mean, you, as a central bank, you put money inside the system, and if you are not able to take the money outside the system, all the holders of the money, it's not you and me, it's guys with a lot of money, would say, hey, so the euro is going to collapse, so they are going to spend the money in real goods and services. So you'll have huge inflation, I think. This is the way I understand it. Maybe I'm wrong. So, I mean, you cannot just, if you don't pay the debt, this is the problem. I mean, I don't care about of course, the creditors, but I think that you can have some monetary problem. But okay, maybe I'm wrong.
I think there will be like a severe deflation because banks have a lot of government bonds, so probably banks, private banks would go bankrupt, and that would shrink the credit expansion. So I would actually say deflation is more probable.
Okay, well, more opinions about this issue. This is an important topic of conversation. Defaulting or not defaulting?
I think it's just up to the ECB whether they want to paper over the loss or whether they want the banking system to take the loss. So you get inflation or deflation one way or the other. But you don't know what it's going to be ahead of time until the ECB one day says, no, we're gonna cover the debts, or no, we will not.
Maybe you could convince Catalonia by giving them Gareth Bale, is worth $100 million right now.
Sorry?
Gareth Bale, the footballer.
Oh yeah, okay, yes, you can do it. Yeah, probably they would change their mind. Although they are complicated, I can assure you. Yeah, I mean, okay, what thing you could do is, okay, the state have assets there, right? So, I don't know, this is a problem, I think it's a problem. So, this happened 2 years ago. I don't know if you see it in the media. Maybe you haven't seen it because you're in Poland, but this was like a protest. So they made like a human chain of 400 kilometers from here, from France, to here, to Valencia, right? Of independence. So many people, I mean, we can say that they want to get independent. This is my perception. Okay, finally, maybe they are not going to do it. I don't know, but I don't know. Okay, well, I think this is a problem, but I think finally Germans are going to bail out us. I don't know. Yeah.
Can you tell me if it is analyzed in Spain to switch back to peso and then to depreciate your currency and start being competitive in your exports? Because what I see from my perspective, if I were a president or a prime minister, what I would like to do is to be in our exports to be competitive. Now we have no chance to be competitive because you have €1.
Yeah.
And in all the zone, you cannot be just competitive.
Yeah.
So
okay. Well,
this is one of the choices.
This is an important debate. Of course, well, we had a peseta, not peso, but
sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. Obviously, some people defend to come back to the peseta. But as I said, I think that politicians would just bring the money instead of solving the problems. I think here, because there is prices, relative prices are in a process of adjustment. So, okay, houses, well, houses are going down, but some companies are making profits. So it's not that everything in Spain is a malinvestment, right? Only a few things. So I disagree with you because I see what you are saying, but you are saying Spain as if Spain was one guy here, I think. But Spain is many industries and many companies. If you devaluate the peseta, what you are going to get is, you are going to have losses to some of the companies or gains to some of the companies. For example, let's think about all the people, like all the companies that buy, for example, the technology from abroad. The technology would be much expensive, right? and other things. If you do that, probably you are going to be expelled from the European Union. Why? Because what you are going to is you are going to translate your problem to other people. I mean, if you devaluate, and now we can sell, for example, cars more cheap than the French people. The French are going to say, hey, but this is not fair.
Why? What is not fair?
Yeah.
It's economy. Just
okay.
Fight for your
Okay, so get out of the European Union and I'm going to put you a tariff because you are cheating.
Germans come to Poland to buy cars because they're cheaper in Poland. Why not?
Yeah, but if you, I think, my personal perception, if I were a French guy or a German and the Spaniards would just ruin my industries, I would expel them from the European Union. That's what I would do. Because what we can, okay, what you're saying is a solution for Spain, but you are transferring the problem to other places. So you are creating or transforming some European industries in malinvestments because now they are not competitive anymore. This is my opinion. I don't know, more.
Yeah, okay, that's your opinion.
Thank you.
Yeah, I would have a comment and a question. The comment is somehow related to Walter de Soto's positive view of the euro as creating a good framework for managing national public finances or whatever. So, from what you presented as data, it looks that like Spain is pointing to the contrary conclusion. It was nice to see the increase and then the decrease in public revenue.
Yeah.
But given the 10% public deficits for the last 4 years and the high increase in public debt, it must be that public expenditure is actually increasing.
Yeah.
In nominal terms.
Yeah, yeah.
Precisely during the bust years.
Yes, yes, that's true.
So much for the euro as a framework for responsibilizing national finances. And then my question, what do you think is the Spanish specificity which explains this significantly higher increase in the unemployment and still after 3-4 years lack of any real restructuring in the economy? Because unemployment continues to grow, people, even in the context of immigration, which means that the de facto unemployment is much higher.
Yeah, okay.
So how would you explain this based on the Spanish case?
I think that, well, we have only 1 minute or two. Okay. Okay, we have, yeah, that's a good point. I mean, there is a restructuration, that's for sure. But it's true that the crisis, instead of being like a V, like a fast depression and a recovery, it's like an L, right? Yeah. It's like a depression, but now it's like a stagnation, right? Why? Maybe I think there are some political restrictions here, more taxes, I think. Maybe I think that some foreigners are not investing in Spain because they fear that we are going to come back to the peseta. This is my perception. This could be an answer also. There is not much foreign investment. That's my perception. And also, you have also shallow economy. So probably the figures are not that bad. That's important. And so I could say that I don't know. Maybe we are not that entrepreneurial. I don't know. That's what I would say. And also, you have also credit restrictions. It's very tricky in Spain to get a credit if you're a company, if you're a small or medium business, because there is no credit in the market. Why? Because I personally think that it's because of this, all the public debt, all the creditors are lending the money to the state. So I think that if the state would control their finance, their public finances, more credit would arise to the firms so they can expand their businesses. Although I think that in 1 year things are going to go better off because there is a process of liquidation and I think it's almost over. So my feeling is that, and also the Arab Spring, this is great. The best thing that happened to us. Now who wants to go to the north of Africa? Nobody. So they come to Spain. And who wants to go to Greece? Nobody. So they want to, so please come to Spain. Spend your money. We are very good at tourism. So okay, but yeah, I mean probably it's a mixture of these conditions.
Okay, so last question.
one question, and I think it's going to tie these two together. Spain cannot inflate its way out of this problem. Spain cannot exit the euro and get out of this problem. They're running a current account deficit right now, and if you exited the euro, it would be even worse, right?
Oh yeah, that's true.
You're importing more than you're exporting.
Yeah.
So you'd be paying more for your imports than you'd make off your exports. But even in the long run, it's not a positive thing, because what Spain needs is relative price adjustments.
Yeah.
It's not a question of all prices being too high, it's that some are too high, and they need to be brought down lower than others. But if you exited and returned to the peseta, you'd be bringing everything down together. So Nikolai, when you say, why hasn't Spain done its restructuring yet? One of the problems, I think, is that a very relevant price in the Spanish economy is the price of wages. And Spain has an intensely unionized workforce, and it is incredibly hard to restructure wages downward. They're really sticky. Contrast this with Ireland, which is not so unionized, and Ireland really was capable of having domestic price deflation because wages in particular were able to reset lower, and you can't get this in Spain until you fix the union and the high public employment participation rate. So.
Excuse me, do you have an info? I read somewhere that if you hire a Spanish worker on a national holiday, then you are obliged by law to give him 44 days of leisure as a result.
Oh yeah, yeah, because yes, it's true. And also if you have a kid, also the father could have vacations. I mean, there is the labor regulation is overprotects, I think, the worker, and this creates that when the economy goes down, the employment goes really up. Also, yes, as they say, we have a really rigid labor market. So, so what companies do, they hire people, temporal workers, right? So they don't hire people in a permanent way, they hire people in a temporal way. So we have like a twofold or two-dimension labor market. So some people has a permanent job, but many people, like 1/3 of the population of the workers, labor force, sorry, have a temporal contract.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much.